Right. Let's unpack this. We're about to take a deep dive into, well, a profoundly complex and sensitive situation that has really captured national attention in India. We're talking about the murders of Dharmasthala and the ongoing investigation shaking a revered spiritual place to its core.
Precisely. And our mission here really is to cut through all the noise, extract the most important nuggets of knowledge from the sources we've looked at. We want to offer you, the listener, a kind of shortcut to understanding this evolving tragedy, all its different facets, without feeling, overwhelmed.
Right.
Our goal is just to impartially report on the factual content provided, give you a solid grasp of the core details, the multiple perspectives, and the significant implications involved.
A storm indeed. The sheer weight of these allegations seems to have, well, really intensified since one individual came forward, someone with a profoundly unsettling confession, hasn't it?
It certainly has. The primary catalyst for this current uproar is, yes, the explosive confession of a former sanitation worker.
Oh.
This individual, and his identity is being withheld for his own safety, naturally he's come forward with some truly grave allegations.
Grave is putting it mildly, it sounds like.
He alleges he was forced to dispose of hundreds of bodies, primarily women and minors, between 1995 and 2014, secretly burying or cremating them in the areas around Dharmasthala.
Hundreds. Just the number itself it's shocking. What are the chilling details he's actually provided?
The details are deeply chilling. He claims many of these bodies, especially women, schoolgirls, showed clear signs of sexual assault, severe violence, strangulation marks, even acid attacks in some cases.
Oh my goodness.
He recounted one particularly disturbing instance, apparently from 2010. A schoolgirl, maybe 12 to 15 years old. Her uniform shirt was intact, but other garments were missing. And her body, he says, clearly showed signs of sexual assault and strangulation.
And he claims he was forced into this.
Yes. His alleged complicity wasn't voluntary, according to him. He states that initially he thought some bodies were maybe suicide victims pulled from the Netravathi River nearby. But he soon realized, he says, that many were actually murder victims.
And when he resisted?
When he refused to dispose of bodies, he claims he was beaten, threatened with death, and his family too. His statement, "I just want to sleep peacefully for one night," that really conveys the immense psychological burden he says he's been carrying.
You can only imagine. Has he offered any proof?
Well, to try and substantiate his claims, he has reportedly exhumed some skeletal remains. He's submitted photographs, possibly even a human skull, to the authorities for forensic examination.
What an incredibly heavy burden to carry for, a decade? Why now? What finally pushed him to come forward after being in hiding?
Well, his motivation, it seems, is deeply personal. He apparently left his job back in 2014 after his own relatives were allegedly sexually assaulted by individuals connected, he claims, with the temple.
Ah, so it hit close to home.
Exactly. Driven by, as he describes it, immense guilt, profound remorse, these haunting nightmares. He returned after a decade in hiding to expose what he says he witnessed. He formally submitted a written complaint to the Superintendent of Police's office on July 3rd, 2025, and that led to the registration of a formal case.
So it sounds like his testimony didn't just open a new, very serious case, but it also reignited long-standing questions about other incidents, right? These older, high-profile cases.
That's a key point. What's really noteworthy here is how his testimony has brought renewed focus, a fresh lens maybe, onto several long unresolved cases, including some of the most prominent ones that have been a source of public anguish for years, particularly the Sojanya and the Ananyabad cases.
Okay, let's start with Sojanya. The Sojanya rape and murder case from 2012. Remind us of the key facts there and what's the latest.
Right, this incident was back in October 2012. Sojanya, a 17-year-old student, was found raped and murdered near Dharmasthala. Her hands were disturbingly tied to a tree. The case initially went to the CID, the state-level agency, and then it was transferred to the CBI, India's main federal investigative agency.
Oh, okay.
But controversially, the lone accused, a man named Santosh Rao, was acquitted in June 2023. The reason given was a lack of evidence.
Acquitted after all that?
Yes. And Sojanya's family, along with various activists, they've consistently alleged a botched investigation from the very beginning. They claim evidence was manipulated, crucial CCTV footage apparently from a building owned by the temple was ignored. And they believe there were deliberate attempts to protect powerful individuals connected to the temple's leadership.
So the acquittal just poured fuel on the fire.
Absolutely. It left this profound sense of injustice, and it significantly fueled suspicions of a wider cover-up, a conspiracy even. It really made the Sojanya case this powerful symbol, a rallying point for activists demanding justice.
And then there's the equally troubling case of Ananya Bhatt. She disappeared years earlier, back in 2003. Her mother's story is quite harrowing, isn't it?
It really is. Ananya was a first-year medical student, an MBBS student. She just vanished from Dharmasthala in 2003 after visiting the temple with friends. Her mother, Sujatha Bhatt, who happens to be a retired CBI stenographer herself, she's recounted this truly harrowing ordeal trying to find her daughter.
What happened when she tried to report it?
She alleges that the local police initially refused point-blank to even register her complaint. They actually accused her daughter of just eloping.
That's incredibly dismissive, especially from a parent looking for a missing child. Did she try going higher up?
Her claims go much further, and they're shocking. Sujatha Bhatt alleges that when she approached the Dharmasthala Dharmakari, Dr. D. Virendra Hegade, and his brother Harshendra Kumar, they basically dismissed her concerns.
Dismissed her.
That's what she claims. And then, what's even more disturbing are her allegations that she was later abducted. Tied up, gagged, held overnight in a dark room near the temple by men dressed in white, whom she identifies as temple staff. She alleges they threatened her to keep quiet and assaulted her.
This is unbelievable.
She says she subsequently woke up in a hospital in Bengaluru, having been in a coma for 3 months. Her belongings were missing, and she had a severe head wound.
A 3-month coma.
That's her allegation. Now, the whistleblower's revelations have given Sujatha Bhatt, understandably, renewed hope. She's filed a new FIR, that's the First Information Report, the formal complaint starting a police investigation urging the police to locate her daughter's skeletal remains. She believes Ananya might be one of the victims allegedly buried there.
And she's pushing for more action.
Yes, she's expressed her willingness to take a polygraph test, a lie detector test, and she's urged the Dharmadhikari and his brother to do the same.
Wow. Okay, so in response to all this, the immense public pressure, the whistleblower's formal complaint, the Karnataka government finally stepped in. They set up a special investigation team, an SIT, on July 19th, 2025. What's their job exactly?
Right, this SIT is led by DGP Pranab Mohanty, that's a Director General of Police, a very senior rank who heads the Internal Security Division. Their task is a comprehensive probe. The mandate covers all criminal cases reported, or even likely to be reported, across the state relating to unnatural deaths, missing persons, and sexual assault cases involving women and female students in Dharmasthala over the last 2 decades.
So, a wide remit. Who's on the team?
Well, initially it included several senior IPS officers. That's the Indian Police Service cadre like M.N. Anucheth, Sumyalata S.K., and Jitendra Kumar Dayama. Now, there were some initial reports, whispers maybe, about officers wanting to withdraw, but sources, apparently highly placed ones, have confirmed the Phil 22 member team is intact.
Okay, so they're operational.
Yes, they've begun their groundwork. 20 additional police personnel from nearby districts have also been inducted to support them. The SIT officers have already visited Mangaluru, held meetings, and importantly, taken possession of all the relevant case documents from the local police.
And their approach.
The emphasis, they're saying, is on maintaining utmost secrecy and really expediting the investigation, based solely on evidence and facts. It's worth noting, though, that while the Karnataka Home Minister G. Parameshwara has said, a thorough investigation must come before any conclusions.
The due procedure, yes.
Right. But Chief Minister Siddaramaiah initially seemed a bit dismissive, before eventually yielding to what was really overwhelming public demand for this SIT.
Now, alongside the investigation, there's been another really significant development, this sweeping gag order. How did that happen, and what does it mean?
Yes, that's a very intriguing and controversial aspect. This gag order came about after Harshendra Kumar, he's the secretary of the temple institutions, and as mentioned, brother of the Dharmadhikari, filed a defamation suit.
Against whom?
Against a large number of media outlets and online platforms. On July 18, 2025, the Bengaluru City Civil Sessions Court issued an ex parte temporary injunction. Ex parte means it was decided based on hearing only one side, in this case, the plaintiffs.
And what does the order do?
It prohibits the publication of any content deemed defamatory about the trust. And it mandates the removal of an absolutely astounding number of links, 8,842 from the internet.
8,000? That's huge.
It targets 390 media entities, mainstream media, YouTubers, various social media forums. And it's in effect until further notice.
And this was issued quickly.
Extremely quickly. Reportedly within just 3 hours of the plaint being submitted. This speed, combined with the sheer scope of the order, has sparked widespread outrage and protests across Karnataka. Many people see it as a severe overreach, something that directly stifles press freedom and could actively impede a state investigation into extremely serious allegations.
It certainly raises questions about transparency.
Absolutely. An ex parte order like this, issued so fast, it doesn't just control information. Sometimes, paradoxically, it can actually intensify public scrutiny because it creates a perception, rightly or wrongly, that there's something to hide. That's often a challenge in these high-stakes legal battles with influential parties involved.
Has there been any challenge to it?
Yes, the Supreme Court was approached directly by one YouTube channel, Third Eye, on July 23rd. But the court declined to intervene at that stage, advising them to go through the Karnataka High Court first. And just to add another layer of complexity, there are now concerns emerging that the whistleblower himself might be facing coercion from the police, and that his statements are possibly being leaked to private individuals.
Which could really muddy the waters for the investigation.
Precisely. It just makes an already complex situation even more difficult to navigate.
Indeed. It sounds like an incredibly layered situation. When you look at all these elements, the sheer scale of the claims, these alleged cover-ups, the powerful figures involved, what do you see as the biggest hurdles the SIT is likely facing? How do they cut through all this?
You've hit on the crucial points there. There are several major unanswered questions and, frankly, huge complexities. Firstly, just the scale of the claims. How could allegations of hundreds of burials over 2 decades in a prominent pilgrimage town visited by, lakhs of pilgrims daily, how could that remain unnoticed for so long?
Right, it beggars belief almost.
It does. And it's not just a shocking number. It points towards a potential systemic breakdown, doesn't it? Or maybe deliberate obfuscation. It really demands a deeper look at the structures that might have allowed such alleged activities to go unseen, especially given the temple's significant influence in the area.
And what about the victims' families? You mentioned Ananya Pat's mother came forward, but if the claims are true, where are the others?
That's the second huge complexity. Why haven't more families come forward? Well, the whistleblower alleges numerous victims. So far, only Sujatha Buck has actively pursued a formal complaint related to these newer revelations. It raises critical questions. Are other families simply unaware? Are they fearful, perhaps? Or did previous attempts to report missing persons just meet with inaction, discouraging others?
Is there any history of that?
Well, the Karnataka State Commission for Women has actually noted in the past what they saw as an inadequate police response to missing persons cases in that region. So that context is there. Thirdly, you absolutely have to consider the influence of powerful figures. The Dharmasthala Temple Administration, the Hegde family, they hold immense religious, cultural, and political sway.
We mentioned Dr. Hegde's Rajya Sabha nomination.
Exactly. Nominated to the upper house of India's parliament by the ruling BJP in 2022. This kind of influence is seen by many activists as a major potential impediment to justice. It could make it incredibly difficult for victims or potential witnesses to come forward without a genuine fear of reprisal.
So, this isn't just about the current investigation potentially being hampered, but maybe a historical pattern of alleged intimidation or suppression.
That seems to be the fourth point, yes.
Okay.
There appears to be, or at least there are claims of, a historical pattern. Activists and journalists who previously reported on alleged wrongdoings in Dharmasthala, especially around the Sojanya case, they claim they faced legal intimidation, defamation suits, court orders demanding articles be taken down.
So a chilling effect, potentially.
That history certainly adds to the concerns about whether the ongoing investigation can be truly impartial, which leads to the final point, the SIT's independence. While the SIT has been formed, its ability to conduct an entirely free and fair investigation, given the immense power and influence of the entities involved. Well, that remains a critical point of concern for many people watching this situation very closely.
So, to sum up, we've taken a deep dive into the murders of Dharmasthala. From these shocking whistleblower allegations and the renewed focus on high-profile cases like Sojanya and Ananya Pat to the formation of the Special Investigation Team and this highly contentious media gag order. It's a truly intricate web, isn't it, with so many threads still unraveling.
It really is, and this deeply sensitive, emotionally charged issue, it truly tests the integrity of the justice system. It tests the commitment to uncovering truth, especially when such powerful interests are potentially at play. It leaves us, and perhaps you, the listener, with a significant question. What does it actually take for truth to emerge and for justice to be served, even in the most influential of places?
A crucial question indeed.
We invite you to consider the implications of these complex, evolving situations. Think about public trust, about accountability, and perhaps follow the SIT's findings and the ongoing legal battles yourself as this story inevitably continues to unfold.